Good morning, everyone. This is Troy Miller coming back at you with yet another film foodie slash let's try. Sorry, just redoing my thingy quickly. And today on the docket we have Spotted Dick from King Ralph. For some reason, I keep wanting to do King Ralph to the tune of King Tut. King Ralph, doo doo, doo doo, doo doo. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's a fun song by Steve Martin. Anyway, so what is Spotted Dick? It is a pudding from England that is kind of a. So in England, puddings aren't puddings like we have them. They're more. They're more. They're basically like boiled cakes. Yeah, that's a good word for it. And you can see here that this very clearly boiled cake. Oh, here, let me get the packaging quickly. I got this off Amazon. It was very beat up when it got to me. Auntie's delicious spotted dick, sultana and raisin steamed puds, which sounds like something Elmer Fudd would say. But ingredients: invert sugar syrup. That is a weird thing to say. I'm trying to think what a sultana is. I've heard that term before, but anyway. So in the film, Peter O'Toole. I should say King Ralph is this ridiculous '90s comedy where an American lounge singer ends up as the King of England because the entire royal family gets ganked, like completely murked, when they take a picture during a thunderstorm or something, and because of all the rain and a short circuit in the camera, it just electrocutes them all, which is insanely dark. Like, I'm not exactly like a monarchist myself. I was laughing with everyone else. Well, I was not laughing, but I had I wasn't exactly offended by any of the Queen jokes last year. But just like a bunch of people at once is, I don't know. When it's a bunch of people at once, then it becomes dark. Like, killing Tsar Nicholas is one thing. Killing Tsar Nicholas and his children is something else. That kind of thing. But John Goodman as Ralph is brought over to England, and Peter O'Toole is this duke who has to teach him how to be royalty. For those who don't know who Peter O'Toole is, he was Lawrence of Arabia. He was, or to my generation, he was Ego from Ratatouille. Anyway, let's give her a try. Oh, and when he's I forgot to say, like, when he's introducing Ralph to British cuisine, he's showing him off a bunch of stuff, and then he says, "Spotted Dick," and Ralph looks to a plate of phallic-looking objects and says, "Dick of what?" And he says, "That's bang as a match. Spotted Dick is over here," and shows him a bundt cake, basically. So anyway, let's give her a try. Very soft, very moist. Nice little raisins. I'll be honest, I forgot what kind of English pudding I had gotten and thought I'd be doing figgy pudding. But maybe we could do that at a later date. Um, I don't know if it's figgy pudding or also spotted dick as well, but especially during winter, these kinds of puddings are soaked in brandy and lit on fire. But I'm not forking over money for brandy, because like I'm not gonna, because I don't effing drink, so I wouldn't even drink it after. It'd just be to soak a pudding in and light it on fire with. I'm not doing that. Gosh darn it, that Sultana thing is really bugging me, because like, not like Carlos Santana, but like there's a character named Sultana, and I think that it has to do with like dried figs or something. That is going to be in my head all day, and I'm gonna be like, bah! The second I remember it. How would I describe the flavor? I don't know. It's just a moist cake. Like, if you've ever had like a preserved cake before, you know what this tastes like. I know it's a pudding. I know they call it a pudding, but to us Yanks, a pudding is a custard. This is a cake. It is made with flour and sugar, and as you can see, it does not resemble a custard at all. So to Americans, spotted dick is not a pudding, it is a cake. I was told I just had to squeeze it out after I microwaved it for a minute. Well, half a minute, literally 30 seconds. But it tore it in half, and I was really bummed. Well, not bummed about that, but like, meh. Although it did remind me of Brian Dylan Hollis, one of my favorite food YouTubers. Well, I guess he's more of a food TikToker, but he posts to YouTube. He made a bundt cake, or I think it was a pound cake, yeah. And he forgot to grease or flour his bundt cake pan, so it completely tore the cake in half when he tried to unsheath it. He said, "Wow, I really JFK'd this cake, huh?" And it's like, oh, that's just, oh Lord, oh, we're back to JFK again. Anyway. So the film ends with Ralph going back to America and Peter O'Toole becoming the monarch. There's a lot of intrigue, not intrigue, but like drama in the film about like, it's basically Mr. Deeds, You've got the inheritor, the or you have like the quote unquote schlubby inheritor. You have the deserving and then you have two different inheritors behind him. One of whom is deserving but unwilling, reluctant to take the inheritance in Peter O'Toole. And then I believe that there's another duke or whatever who wants Ralph to abdicate the throne so that he can take over. I just think it's funny that, like, this film implies that. Oh, Lord, I think it was before. I think it was before Diana died, too. So, like, this movie just basically implies that, like, the entire Windsor family just bites it. And so, like, Diana, who I think had been divorced from Prince. Well, now, King Charles for some time, would just be laughing her ass off in France. Like, she. And of course, this is just hearsay, but I heard that Diana was mistreated, and then you hear about, like, all the things Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Oh, I don't follow. Look, it's all tabloid BS, but you hear about this stuff, and it's like they're an aristocratic family from Europe. Yeah, they're fucked up. Pardon my French. Fun fact, Windsor isn't even their original last name. Their original last name was super German, so they changed it to something British sounding. Which is actually a very British thing to do, since one of the most famous British kings, Richard the Lionheart, barely spoke English. He was French. So, like, anytime you see, like, King Richard played by Patrick Stewart or Sean Connery or, oh, Lord. Who's that one actor who played him in the, Russell Crowe Robin Hood movie? He's in a ton of stuff. I recognize his face every time I see him, but I never know his name. Anyway. So this is my first video of the coming winter month of December. Because it was supposed to be figgy pudding, and I forgot that I'd actually ordered spotted dick. Now I remember. I was looking up figgy pudding on Amazon, thinking like, oh, maybe there's like some kind of like pre-made one that I can just get. And this popped up, and I was like, okay, close enough, click. Look, I was busy ordering Legos for my cousins for Christmas. My little cousins. King Ralph isn't really a movie I think most people know. Like,